Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For those who enjoy video games about planes, I have fantastic news for you. So here, this is the CFA-44 Nosferatu from Ace Combat 6 Flyers of Liberation, and it also makes some returns in Ace Combat Assault Horizon, Ace Combat Infinity, and then Ace Combat 7. And this plane is flown by Ilya Pasternak from the game Ace Combat 6 Assault Horizon, who is also the villain in the game. And yeah, this is the advanced version. And let's see what it compares with the simple version. And we can see that the wings and the canards have some major improvements that looks more closer to the one from the game. And you also have better shaped afterburners like this. And the intakes also have some major improvements that looks a lot larger. And this one, they're just tiny and looks so goofy. And this one also have landing gears. Yeah, it's really cool and really detailed. And with this paint job that I used, red and brown and some black marker, it seems like that Ilya Pasternak just jumped out of the screen and now fly into your hands. And you can also toss it around and enjoy the flight. So let's begin. First off, I'll prepare this square sheet of paper here. And now let's make a preliminary base. Yeah, basically you just first make this two diagonal folds and then two undiagonal ones. Yeah, basically fold the paper in half. And after doing so, yeah, just fold this base out here. After completing it, unfold it, and then you just have to choose one of the diagonals and then fold it like this, and then let's form two kite bases. Yeah, basically you just fold this up and make sure that this line and this line match up perfectly, and then same for the other side. Okay, unfold it. And then let's fold the other side. Like this. Okay, unfold it. And then you'll notice that you have these 2 points right here. And what you're gonna do is actually fold this down and make sure that this dot and this dot, yeah, they get really close. I don't really suggest you make this dot here landing right at this intership section, or your paper will suffer from tearing or other issues. Instead, you just go behind it a tiny little bit. And then you just fold this crease like this, and then fold this up. Basically, you're just mirroring this on the other side, like so. And then what you're gonna do is actually, yeah, folding this edge right here, right to the center, like this. And for the other side, like this. Yeah, make sure they both land in the center, and then unfold it, and then reverse this process like this. Okay, and now let's go ahead and unfold it like so. Using the crease you made, you just have to fold this like so. Yeah, just repetitive process, I would say. Then, using these creases right here, you just have to, yeah, fold it like this on one side, and for the other side. You first notice you have this crease right here. What you're gonna do is just fold this up and fold this over and open this pocket and collapse it like so. And then you pile this over and move this up, and you notice that here you have a pocket, and fold like this, and follow the creases. You just have to again collapse it And then due to this side, again, open this pocket and just collapse everything like so. Alright, another repetitive process. And you should notice that here you have this sort of shape. And what you're gonna do is actually, you notice that here you have this edges right here, and you just have to fold this down as far as you can go and unfold it and do to the other side. Or maybe we can get a much closer look because it shrinks really hard. Yeah. And then you should notice that here we have this pocket, and then you just have to follow this center crease and these two other creases and then open this up and make sure that this line and this line being perfectly matched up, and then fold it over, and same for the other pocket like so. And then you unfold it, and same for the other side. And now just repeat this process to all sides of this paper. Yeah, I would say this base is not so hard, it's just repetitively annoying. Yeah. Because the logic is just really clear and simple. But it just have way too many steps that are almost the same. Come on. Okay, after you made these steps, you should notice that some of the sides, yeah, and I would say there are two sides, they have this sort of creases right here. And for this side, you have to do this. So first off, you fold one side of them straight up and fold it, and then let's flip to the other side. You first fold this up, and then you should notice that you have this sort of section right here, and you just have to fold it like this, and make sure that this point right here match with this intersection, and then make a crease, and then fold it like so, unfold it, and you should notice that here you have this triangular sections here, and what you're gonna do is fold this tip up like so, and same for the other side like this, and then you unfold it, and then you just pull this layer up and right at this point right here, and then you just go up and fold this down like so. And this one, yeah, and fold it down and reinforce it, and then you just have to pull these layers out like so. Now let's unfold everything. So you should take a look and notice the crease pattern of this paper. Okay, let's zoom back. And you should notice that on one of the sides you have this sort of sections right here. Take a closer look. Yeah, this one. So, except this side, the rest of the side they go in, and this one go on the top. Yeah, just restructure it like so. And this one, you pull it up like this. Yeah, the one that have these two creases right here, and then just let it go in like so, and then just fold it down like this. Alright, let's zoom in. And then what you're gonna do is just fold this pocket like this. Yeah, just repeat these steps. Let's say 8 times, I think. I remember. Yeah. Repetitive stuff. Okay, come on. Yeah, this is a double preliminary base, and it's also used on Jayson Merrill's F-22 Raptor, the advanced version with landing gears. Alright, you have completed your base. Alright, let's continue. So you should notice that here you have this sort of flaps over here, and then you just have to pull this layer out gradually and go right here, and then here you just have to collapse it and make sure that you have this dot matching with this line and collapse it. And let's do to the other side. Come on. All right. And after doing so, you just have to fold this flap up like this. And then flip to the other side. We have this tongue right here, and then you just have to fold this up first. Follow the creases you make, and just make sure you don't tear anything. Let's reinforce the creases, and then you just have to unfold it, and then open up the pocket, and then just reverse it, following these creases right here. Yeah, this is the same way that how the F-22 Raptor got its intakes being shaped. Come on. Come on. And then, yeah, you have to smooth out the layers and these creases, like so, and then, oh, come on. And then collapse it, like so. See, just check the edges, make sure that they don't get messed up, and let's see, yeah, everything's meshed up now, and okay. And you should notice that here you have these flaps over here, and we're going to fold them all up. So some of our layer steps will be a lot easier, like so. this one, fold them up. Again. Come on. And then this one, like so. And this one. Come on. Okay, return to the previous step. And then what you're gonna do is fold this over, and then you fold this layer like so. And then that you have to make sure that you have this point and this point being perfectly matched up. And then you just have to fold this over, collapse it, and it's almost like it's at this point. And then this one just also match them up like this. Yeah, you can take a closer look. Yeah, here, have it. And then you just have to collapse everything. And also here, you have to match them together. Let's do to the other side. Now let's adjust some of those details. Come on. And check the symmetricity. Alright, let's continue. Here you have this one, and here you just have to open this pocket, and then here you fold this down like so, and this one you fold it like this, and then for this one you just have to fold this down like this. You should notice that here you have it. Okay, and then let's collapse it like this. And this one, it should be perfectly matched up, almost there. Maybe we can adjust a little bit, like so. Now let's do to the other side. Yeah, again. Yeah, it should be like this. And then collapse it. Like so. And this is what you get now. Again, check the symmetricity. Alright. Now you notice that here you have this layers, right? Layers, and then you have this top layer, middle layer, and under layer, and you just have to pull this top layer behind like this. Yeah. And then you just smooth it out. Come on. Collapse it like so. Alright, it should be like this now. Let's repeat it to the other side. So basically just have to open this up and pull this out. Yeah, it's like this. And then collapse it. Now just check everything is symmetrical and matched up. Okay. Now notice that here you have this section here, and you just have to fold this down, all the way down. And then here, you just collapse it. Yeah, this is almost the same as the F-22. Here you have this crease. Just fold it down. Come on. Okay, this is what you get now. Now let's see, again, check some symmetricities. And then you just have to open this up and again, and you go to this step, and you should notice that here you have this pocket, and you just have to reverse it like so. And yeah, it should look like this. Okay, so now you have this layers out here, and you just have to move them up. You just, yeah, move it like this and make sure everything's matched up, and just collapse everything like so. And let's do to the other side. Like this, and then collapse it. Okay, let's check our symmetricity again, or things will get messed up later on, I think. Alright. Oops, we forgot this step. Notice that here we have this excessive layer. You first fold it up, and then you just place this ton right into this pocket, like so. Come on. Get it in. Okay. Then let's see. Here you just have to fold this up, and here for the other side. And then you notice that here you have these two layers, and what you're gonna do is just fold them up like so. Let's see, first you have this dot right here, and here you also have to make sure that this one is perfectly aligned. Alright. Let's do to the other side. Come on. So this is what we get now, and then unfold it, and then you just have to follow this crease right here, fold this up, and at this point, yeah, basically this is how the Jayson's Vulcan got its wings being shaped. And same for this side. Again, just fold it up like so. Again, symmetricity here is very important and can be a little bit annoying, so let's go off cam. Okay, let's continue. So you have to notice that here we finished our check, and then you just have to fold it like this. Yeah, right in. Come on. And then collapse it like so. And for this side, again, it's just transferring all valleys into mountains and all mountains into valleys, whatever you call it. And then collapse it. Okay, as you can see, it's like this now, and just compare it to the other side. Just make sure everything remains being symmetrical. And then you open this pocket right here, and you notice that here you have a crease, and then right at the intersection you just fold this down, and then here you just carefully move it right at this point. Yeah. And fold it out. Yeah, just be careful. So, and then just collapse it. And same for the other side. Okay, now let's compare and do a symmetricity check. Come on. Something seems a little bit wrong. Maybe another off cam. Okay, let's continue, and this is what you get. Turns out it's not that annoying. And then maybe you can make a cockpit, I think. Basically just fold this all up like so. And make sure that this point and this point being perfectly matched up, and then collapse it. Same for the other side, like so. And then just match this point and collapse it here. And this is also the same, you have to match everything like this. This is what you get now. And here you just have to fold it down like so. And then here you fold this up and pull this layer out and move it to here, and then fold this over. Come on. And then open this layer up and then just fold it over and collapse it. Like so. Oops, something's a little bit wrong. Never mind, let's continue. And then just fold this down like so. And here is your cartridge cockpit, and then you can fold this to over so you have more clearance for the next steps. But actually, you can also do another step before this, and that is basically fold this flap down and make sure that you have this line and this line being perfectly matched up, like this. Same for the other side. Check the symmetricity here. And after doing so, you just have to fold this over and match this line and this line together, like so. And same for the other side. And this one, just fold it up right into this crease, and same for the other side. And then unfold it, fold this over. Now we get more clearance. So now you notice that, okay, maybe we can move this down first. Same for the other side. Okay. You notice that here you have this sort of zigzagging thing. And what you're gonna do first is actually fold this out right in half. Yeah, just match this crease right here with this edge. Take a closer look. And fold this down like so. So you have one of those reference creases. Yeah, take a closer look, and then you just have to again move this in a little bit. Right at here, yeah, this is a quarter, and this is the last. Yeah, just match this crease right here, right at this crease. Okay, and now let's go in. And then what you're gonna do is fold this up like so. Yeah, notice that here. And then you just have to pull this down. And for this part, you just follow this right at this quarter part, like so, and then collapse it. And this is what you get. Now let's repeat it to the other side. Okay. All right. Now collapse it down like so. Let's check the symmetricity here. Alright, let's continue. So here you notice that you have this huge flap over here. And then what you're gonna do is open this up and fold this over. Like so. And then collapse it. And don't mind this, this is actually something happened that the original paper of this one is not at a perfectly square, and I have to trim off a little bit. And that bit is just too small, and it's really tricky to do so. So we add those marks. That excessive part is almost like only a few millimeters, so yeah, it makes things really tricky. Again, this part is also the same. You fold this all over here as far as you can go. Like this. Again, check the symmetricity. Well, what's going on here? Doesn't seem that the same. Okay, this time is almost there. And then just open this pocket up, and then basically you have to not just open it, you first fold this all over to here. Oops, here's a twist. Come on. Yeah, fold this over. Yeah, you should do it like this. Yeah. Collapse it. Make sure that here you have this being perfectly matched up, and same for the other side. After doing so, you just have to pull this pocket out and then fold this down like so, and then you have to make sure that here this one and this one being parallel like so, and same for the other side. Again, just make sure that things get parallel. Again, check the symmetricity. Alright, you notice that here you have this excessive layer, and you first fold it up, and then you fold this in like so, and fold this over. Same for the other side. Just fold it up and then fold like this, and then tuck this in. Now notice that you have this sort of shape, and you just have to fold this down a little bit, and make sure that here you match this point right at this crease, and also you have these two lines being being parallel. And same for the other side. Come on. Yeah, let's check the symmetricity. Yeah, this part should be your vertical stabilizers. Now let's go to this side, and you open this up and fold this down, and make sure that here you match right at this point, and this part also get perfectly lined up. And here, this layer, you just go right through this edge and fold this over, and then pull this right here. So let's take a closer look. And then let's repeat to the other side. And fold it like this. And then just fold this over like so. Yeah, this is going to be your landing gear. And then you just have to pull this all up. And here you match this. Just follow the creases and come on. And here you also have this one. You just fold it right at this edge. Like this. And you form this thing that looks like those fans of a venomous snake or some other things like a vampire or anything. Just fold it up. Other than the name Nosferatu is actually a vampire, and that's a pun. Again, fold this up and fold it like this. Alright, maybe a little bit tweaks are needed for the symmetricity or whatsoever. Alright, let's check the symmetricity. Okay, now fold this down like so. Okay, so this is what you get now. Then here you notice that you have this excessive layers, and what you're gonna do is just roll them up. So this is stage 1. To basically reinforce your wings leading edge. Oops, here's a kink. Come on. And fold this up like so. And then you just match these 2 points and fold it right in. It can be a little bit tricky because it's getting real thick up there. Alright, it's in now. That's why full paper or tissue foil is highly recommended for this model. And same for this side. Come on, just go in. Alright, let's just go ahead and collapse everything. Come on, Mr. Charger. Do me a favor. Nice. Oops, here's a twist. Yeah, we're gonna have to adjust it since there are just too many layers in the wings. Let's see, check the symmetricity again. Alright. So now you should notice that here you have this layer, and what you're gonna do is just match these 2 points and then fold them in. One is here and the other is right at the point, right at the tip, and then fold it over. And same for the other side. Okay, and you also notice here you match these 2 points and fold it down. Same for the other side. And then you also notice that here you have a point, and first you're gonna fold it right here, right at this crease, and then you just fold this over like so. and collapse it. Same for the other side. Fold it right here. And then here you just have to fold this over like so. Same for the other side. Okay, this is what you have. So actually we now notice that we open this up and you have this section here, and what you're gonna do is actually first you open this up, and then here you notice that here's a pocket and your index finger should be right in there, and then you start pulling it. Okay, just gradually pull it down, be careful, like so. Come on. And also you have to notice that here you just have to straighten them out like so, and yeah, it should be like this now. Now let's just flatten all those wrinkles out like so. And now you notice that here's a point right here, and what you're gonna do is just fold it up like this, and then fold it into the middle section like so. Just match this line and this line up. And then you need a tool to poke them open and collapse it like so. And just gradually pull over out. Yeah, just be careful, it has a really high tendency to tear. Yeah. Alright, got this. And again, flatten it out like so. And just check those details. Alright. Now let's see, here you have this section, and then you notice that here is a pocket, and then you're gonna have to move this layer up. Come on, just reverse it behind this one like so. Yeah, and move it to this stage, and same for the other side. Come on. You just flip it over, fold it over, and here's a little bit twist. Come on. Right, we made it. Again, reinforce it and flatten things out like so. Now let's see this section here. What you're gonna do is go to this stage, and first you're gonna open this up and then fold this in like so. And then you just have to notice that here you have this layers right here, and then you just have to fold it up so you can lock them, and this should be your afterburner. And same for the other side. Come on. fold it in and then fold this over and lock them up. Let's see, okay, so here you just have to overlap it. Alright, so now we can do a jet fold. So basically your point should be right here, this one, and then you also have this intersection. Yeah, let's go ahead and do a jet fold. Yeah, this taper really helps. And then, yeah, right at this intersection, and then just have to fold it over. And come on, apply some force, and then I'll just do it with my bare hands here. And let's use the charger to reinforce the crease, like so. Right, unfold it, and then you notice that here you have this sort of crease that being marked, and then what you're gonna do here is first you follow this line, yeah, the line that has a color change, and then you fold this up a little bit, and then you just pile this open. This is going to be one of your locking mechanisms, and then just gradually collapse it. Just be careful, don't tear the paper. Right, and then collapse it like so. This is what you get. And same for the other side. You just fold this up like this and then open it up. Let's use the tweezers and then just gradually collapse it. Come on. Like so. And then fold this over. Now notice that here you have this line, and then what you're gonna do is actually you twist it a little bit and just adjust it and make sure that you have this, that this point right here, this intersection is right on this line. Yeah, it should be like this. You can see the difference on the sides. And then let's do to the other side. Just fold this over and here. Collapse it. Now notice that here you have a tip like this. What you're gonna do is just fold this tip down a tiny little bit. This should prevent the paper from tearing, because in some previous tests, if I don't fold this down, it's gonna have a very high tendency to tear this part, tear apart from that part. Okay, and then you also have this section right here, and what you're gonna do is first you follow this point and this point, as you can see. And then maybe you can use a ruler to help you and make a reference crease so you can make it as straight as possible. And then you just have to pull this over and fold it like so. And you form some sort of thing look like this. Collapse it, and you tuck this part right into this section. Alright. Okay, so let's do to the other side. And then fold this over. And then collapse it. Oops, here's a twist. Just smoothing it out. Come on. Now let's tuck it in. So actually this part will be your landing gear, the front landing gear, and this will be your rear ones. Now you just have to fold this down like so. Now let's shape the wings a little bit. Basically you just have to fold this tip right here up. And make sure that, yeah, these two lines here, as you can see, are almost parallel. And same for the other side, just mirror it, mirror the process. Well, let's compare the symmetricity here. Yeah. Almost identical, isn't it? Okay, a little bit twist. Now you notice that here, to form this sort of wingtip, you actually have to fold the leading edge a little bit. Let's first fold this over so you have some clearance for the following steps. Basically, you just have to, oops, here something's a little bit wrong. Yeah, this part you should make sure this time triangle to overlap this layer. Yeah, something wrong happened. And then you just have to fold this tip down. Maybe use a ruler can help because it's getting really thick here. Come on. Just fold it down like so. Yeah, you have some sort of this thing right here, and it's right at this edge, or you can just go past it a little bit. Depends on you. Yeah, on the other side, it should look like this. And on this side, it's like this. Yeah. And then let's repeat it to the other side. Reinforce the crease and also compare both sides. Come on. Then what you're gonna do is basically you open this up and then you fold this over like so, and then you fold this down, and it's sort of forming this sort of shape like this. And then you just tuck this tiny bit in to this pocket, like so. Yeah, this is what you get now. Now let's do it to the other side. So basically, you just open this up and then, come on, and fold this down like so. Mirror the symmetricity here, and then tuck it into the pocket like so. And this is what you get now. Have those wingtips. And also, again, the reinforcement is enhanced a lot more. Now let's go shape our canards. So basically, you notice that here you have this sort of flap over here. And then you just have to fold this over like so. Same for the other side. Yeah, with this plane, I'm also going to show you how to form canards with this base. A special way that really benefits from this base when it comes to making canards. And then, yeah, just open them up like so. Oops, we forgot one thing. Yeah, this layers. You gotta have to fold them in. Yeah, right at this point and this point. And then fold it over. Just basically transferring the violet fold into a mountain fold. So maybe this part should be a little bit far more in, I think. Alright, this time is better. And then what you're gonna do is basically first reinforce the crease. And then you notice that here you have this sort of layer out here, and we just have to reverse it like so. Just again turn any valley folds into a mountain fold or vice versa. Come on. That's why I say that sometimes fingernails also help. And make sure that things get lined up in this process, or as lined up as possible. Come on. And let's do to the other side. Okay. So this is what we get now. And check our symmetricity. Okay. So now this is what you get, and then again let's continue. And here we have this layers out here, and what you're gonna do is just fold it in as far as you can go. And here you also have a tip, and here's another tip. You just fold it like this, and then this one just go as deep as you can and collapse it, so one side should look like this. And then let's do it to the other side. All right. Okay, so here, this is what you have now on the other side, and here this side. And then let's fold them in. You should leave this pocket open. I suggest you if you don't want to tear your paper. And then fold them right in the center like this. And then do to the other side. Yeah, just leave this like this and fold the rest. Fold the rest, yeah. And then this part, you just open it up as far as you can go. And almost, it's like you here have an intersection like this. Yeah, I'll point right here, and then you just land this crease, this line, right at the intersection. And the rest of the part, you just get it as far as you can go, almost there, like this. Let's do to the other side. And here you just open it up. Also, again, check your symmetricity. Okay, this is what you get now, and then let's see. So here you just have to fold them in like this. Make sure that again you have this being parallel, and same for the other side. Again, check symmetricity. And you also have this, and then you just have to fold them in. Yeah. So now you have this sort of iconic canards being like this. And then open this up. Fold this tip down. Yeah, it's really iconic. And then this under layer, you just have to fold it like this, yeah, and then collapse it. Just make sure it goes as far as it can go. Come on. And same for the other side. Yeah, as you can see, it's like this now. And check the symmetricity again, and then let's stuff them in. Perfect. Same for the other side. Again, these canards, you can adjust them, some details according to your own preference or whatsoever. Also stuff them in like so. Now collapse everything. And another thing is, you notice that here you have this section, and what you're gonna do is fold them up. But first we can fold our landing gears in. So basically you just point them into the leading edge like so. Yeah, this is what you get. And to the other side, and check the symmetricity. And then after you made this crease, you just have to reverse it in and just go to this pocket, and basically you just retracted your landing gear. And same for the other side. Oops. Now collapse it. This is what you get now. Let's also compare it. Now we notice that here we can do this. First, you have this intersection right here, and then you fold this up like so. And then here, you just notice that this intersection and this part also forms a pocket, as you can see. You just tuck them in, and then this guy point here, just fold it up and collapse it. And this is something I would like to call a cheat stabilizer, because basically this plane suffers from some really high tendency of nose heavy, and I think adjusting the wings directly and make an aileron would actually affect the overall lift. So I actually add this excessive part so you can bend this as your elevator, and that would work a lot better. Yeah, because I don't want to sacrifice the lift. And then let's do to the other side. Just fold it up and then tuck it into the pocket. Alright. Now let's do this. Just fold them in. Gradually rolling them up like this. And also your intakes, this sticking out stuff, you just have to fold it up and right at this point and stuff it in. And same for the other side. So this is what you get now. Alright, let's go ahead and jet fold the model. Alright, it should complete it by now. Alright. And this part, just leave it up. Okay, and also fold your wings and your afterburners up like so. And fold your stabilizers up. And then you just have to go ahead and lock your plane. Like this. And then you just have to fold this down. Right in the middle, and this one tuck it in. And then just, come on, overlap everything. To lock up your model like so. Again, just reinforce everything. And again, fold them up. Okay, so actually we are really close, and the rest of the steps are literally just shaping. Yeah. And then you notice that here is a pocket, and this is going to be the intakes. And what you're gonna do is just basically first you fold this two flaps in so it forms the nose. And here, you fold this down like so. This is what you have. Maybe we can open this a little bit up so we have some more wide aircraft. It won't look too flat. And then here you just open this up a little bit so you form this iconic triangular intakes. And this one, just open this up a little bit, and it should look like this now on one of the sides. And let's do to the other side. Come on. And here, just adjust it a little bit. Congratulations, you got your intakes. Now let's move to the afterburners. It's simple, basically just poke them and go as far as you can. Use some tools like a pen or brush or whatever you want to make. Whatever you get, just poke them. Come on. And just some minor shaping. You're almost there. Yeah, just round them a little bit more. Alright, so congratulations, you just made your CFA-44 Nosferatu in flight mod, and this is the advanced version. And to deploy the landing gear, it's just simple. You basically just pull this out and fold this down, and the nose one, you just pop this open and fold this tip down, and you get it in parking mode. Like so. Oops. It needs some minor adjustments to make sure it lands. Alright. So now you should conclude the tutorial of the CFA-44 Nosferatu advanced version. Now let's talk about the plane. Basically, this is a canard and delta wing design. However, these canards do almost nothing to this plane when it comes to controlling it, because as you can see, it's almost right at the plane CG, and yeah, they just don't really generate that much torque that can steer the plane. Instead, use this tiny bits in the rear and this to help controlling the plane. For actually, you say that, yeah. For example, if the plane suffers from pitching down, yeah, it has a really high tendency to pitch down. You just bend this tips in the rear, and if it tends to roll, you can bend this to tiny bits. Do not use this, or your plane will suffer from reduced lift. And this one will control the yaw. And before you fly it, make sure that you flatten all your wings like this. Yeah, it should be like this, perfectly being flattened. And here, there's still some wrinkles, and I have to do some adjustments to make sure this one become airworthy. And so that should conclude the tutorial of this advanced CFA-44 Nosferatu. And what other planes you would want to see me making? Let me know. Leave in the comments. Alright, so you may wonder what happened to this one. Yeah, actually some accident happened during the recording process, and you can go ahead and watch it for some extra entertainment. You have to make sure that this point, this crease right here, match with this line. Like so, and then, yeah, I'm still pulling it out, because it seems like it's getting a little bit stuck over here. Yeah, just be careful. Come on. Maybe a brush works better. I don't. Maybe. All right. We did it. Made it. and then just smooth out those wrinkles. Damn it.